Hi guys, in this video we are going to make a simple desktop application, and the main purpose of that desktop application will be to show the calendar of the year that we enter. So for that we are going to use Tkinter. So basically what is Tkinter? It is an Python interface to the GUI toolkit. GUI is nothing but a graphical user interface. So using Tkinter, we can create a graphical interface from which user can interact with that interface, enter the value that he wanted, and show the results accordingly. So let's see how we can create a simple calendar app using Tkinter. So for that, first your system need to have an Python already installed in that. So if suppose it is not installed, you can go onto the official Python website and download the latest version. And to check if Python is installed correctly, you can directly write Python version in the CMD and you can get the version that is installed on your PC. So for Tkinter, first we need to install the Tkinter package. So for that, you can directly write pip install tk. In my case, it is already installed, but if in your case, if it is not installed, then you can install it using this command. So for me, it says requirement already satisfied. Okay, so let's get started by creating the application. So for that, I will create a separate folder. I will name it as calendar app, let's say, and I will open it with Visual Studio Code. If you don't have this, you can install it from the Google. It is not a quite complex process. You just need to download the exe and the installation process will automatically begin. So I will create a Python file. I will name it as calendar.py. Okay. So in Python, before using any library, first we need to import that library inside our code. So as we are using Tkinter, so I will import the key Tkinter, and inside Tkinter library there are many functions. So rather than writing them individually, I can directly import all the functions from that Tkinter library. And one more thing we will require is that calendar. Okay, so these two things we had imported. So let's create the main function. So for that, it will be a main, sorry, it will be a name. Okay, so first we will create a variable with the tkinter. Tkinter instance. Oh, sorry. And then we will configure it. Inside configuration, we will pass the background color as light gray. Okay. And then we can assign a title to that window that is going to appear on our screen. So for that, I will use a title property and let's name it as yearly calendar viewer. Okay. So after assigning it a new title, we need to assign the height and width of that window. So for that, we are going to use geometry property and let's give it an height and width of 300 x 300. Okay. This is the main description of the window. And at last, we just need to write a new dot main loop. Okay. So let's try to run if, let's say if it works and If I run this, then you can see a window appearing here which states yearly calendar viewer. I think I had not written properly the spelling of yearly. Okay, so let's rerun it. Yeah, this time it appears a better way. So we had created a window, assigned it an title, and the main thing that we need to do is to enter, we need to place a label which says enter, which says the name of the application, which is yearly calendar. Then we need a text box where we can enter the year that we want to view. Okay, so let's do it. So first, let's create a calendar variable which will have a label of, and inside that label property we need to pass the instance of that tkinter. Then it will have a text of yearly calendar. Then let's give some styling. Background will be light gray. Font will be Times, and let's give it a size of 28, which will be bold. Okay, and after that foreground color will be black. Yeah, so we had created a calculator, we had created a cal variable. Then year one, it will have a label. Text will be to enter the year, so it will be enter year. Same thing, the background color will be light gray, and font, let's give it a font of Arial, and the size will be 12. Okay, so we had done this thing, and we need to create a field from where we can enter the year. So for that I will rename it as year field. Okay, so it will be an entry where we are going to enter some value. We need to pass any variable. Then it will have a width of, let's say, 10, and the font will be Arial 12. So I will copy it from here. After that, whatever text we enter, it should be the middle of the text bed, your text box. So for that, I will justify the content to center. Okay, this thing we had done. Then we need to create a button so that after entering the value, if we click on that button, the calendar will be shown. Okay, so for that we will create a button widget, and we'll have a button. Then we need to pass then text that will be shown on the button, which will be show calendar. FG will be white. Background color, let's give it as black. Oh, sorry, blue. After BG, font will be Arial bold. So we'll copy it from here. Okay, and after that there is another thing which will be the command where we need to add the method which will execute after pressing that button. So we need to create that method. For now I'm writing just name of that method, which will be show calendar. Okay, we will create this method show calendar, and after that thing we need to position the widgets. So positioning widgets, the widget that we had created, we need to position it into that graphical interface. So first we need to position that cal widget. So as in Tkinter, it is in a grid view. Okay, so we will give a row as 0 and column as 0. Okay, column span will be of 2 and the padding through axis will be 10, 0. Okay, the same thing we need to do it for year field and button. Copy this 4 times. First we need to do it for year, then year field, and then button. Okay, so for year, let's give it a row as 1, column will be 0, and for this we don't need column span. We can directly give padding y of 10 and padding x of 5. Okay, for year field we require row as 1, column we can give it as 1, and pad y and pad x, let me think, we can do it as pad y as 10, pad x as 5. Okay, so after year field we need to position the button that we had created. So for that I will get a row as 2, column as 0, column span will be 2, and pad y, let's give it as 20. Yeah, so this thing work looks better. And the one thing that we need to create is we need to create a def method which will be show calendar. Yeah, let's try to run to see how it looks. Oh, indentation error. So yeah, so in this way it looks. The label that we had created, yearly calendar, the year from which we can enter the text box, enter the text inside that text box, and the method. If we hit that button, then this method will be revoked. So let's create this show calendar method. In this, if we enter the year and hit enter, then the entire calendar will be shown for that particular year. So we had created an GUI interface. Then we need to config same thing that we had done in the main method. It will have a background of let's say light gray. Then we can assign a title, and we can pick the year from that year field. Simply we need to do is year field.get. So we directly get the value that we had entered into that year field, and then there will be a title. Oh, we had created a title, geometry, and let's give it a size of 600 into 650. Yeah. So first we need to check whether the user has entered the correct value or not inside that year field. So we will use try catch block. Okay, so first we will get the year which will be in the integer format from that year field dot get. So once we get the year value, we'll get another variable which will be a GUI content, and from the calendar library that we had imported, we'll try to get all the content for that particular year. Yeah, so the cal year will be the label in which we are going to pass the GUI. Text will be the GUI content, which will be the calendar year. Okay, the font, let's give it as consolas, and size will be 10. Background will be of white, foreground will be of black, and let's justify the content to left. Pad will be 10, pad y will be 10. Okay, so this is the whole thing that we had done. Oh, yeah. And in Python, the indentation is very important. If we enter the extra space in any starting, then it will throw an error. Okay, and then last thing we need to place that variable, which will be calendar grid. So the row will be 0, column will be 0, pad x will be 20, pad y equal to 20. Okay, we have done this for try block. Try block means we'll try this putting this content here, and if it succeeds, then no problem. If it doesn't, then we can expect error. Okay, so we'll create an error label. It will be a same label. Let's copy it from here. And inside text, we are going to just simply say that please enter a valid year. Okay, so the color of text, let's give it a red color. Yeah, and then we need to place that error, which will be row 0, same thing as above. Okay, and then we need to show this. So it will be in the main loop. And main loops means it continuously refreshes that GUI. If we do any action, it directly detects and renders it. Okay, so let's try running this application. We try to run, then let's 2024 show calendar. Oh, it's not showing anything. I'm not sure, but changing the file name to app.py and deleting that py catch, it work. So if I try to run this code and enter the year as 2020, it shows the calendar for the year 2020. And same thing if we hit the something wrong value, and oh, it shows the value for that year. Okay, let's try some another negative value. I think it is showing, it is still showing. Not sure what exception it captures, but yeah, this application is working. So if we try to hit the value for 2024, then we can see the calendar for the year 2024 will be appeared on the screen. So in this way, we had designed an calendar application. So first we had imported the libraries, and we had created the main method where we had created the widgets and placed those widgets on that application, and then created a separate method which will be triggered once we click on the button. So it will get an year from that year field, and we'll create a content which will be of the calendar year and place that content into that GUI. So in this way we had created an calendar application. In the next video we will try to do some another application using some another technology. So let's meet in the next video. Till now, bye bye.